Hi guys, happy Friday. Blah. Fucking hate Fridays, I fucking hate Saturdays, fucking hate Sunday. But I like every other day of the week. So, alright, I wanted to go into a little bit more about the red meal, because this is actually really important within traditional witchcraft. So, I have made what I thought was a PowerPoint presentation, but it's just notes. So, I always think I'm doing something, but then it ends up to be something completely different. So, alright, the red meal, or the woozle, within traditional witchcraft. So, and we have the winter solstice coming up and everything, and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to do the Yule log and the solstice blessing. It's going to be great. What do you guys plan on doing for Yule? Anything? Anything great? Anything fun? Yeah? No? Maybe? Okay. Alright, so it is common, part of many religious traditions to partake in a small sacrificial meal at the end of the rite or ceremony, or before, or you can just do it all on your own. It's a rite and it's a ceremony all in itself. Alright, so we too participating in a Eucharistic tradition of imbibing spirited wine and consuming spirited grain as a representation of the sacrifice needed for the magic we have performed. So, it's just like cakes and ale, only older. That's where cakes and ale came from, within Wicca. So, alright, so we have in many witchcraft traditions, this is called cakes and ale, most commonly Wicca. Or cakes and wine, we call it the woozle, or red meal, and base it in part on ritual created by fellow walker of the crooked path, Robin Artisan. That man is a genius. Robin Artisan is amazing. His books are incredible. He is, just the best. Simplistic. Very simplistic. It's very detailed, but his simplicity is just genius. He is a genius. So, alright. So, here are, here's just like a little, what you can do, how you can do this. So you can do this and just really honestly do it all by yourself, tailor it to fit your needs. So, alright, so just a little bit of preparation. So you place your compass is first laid. Place the following items in the castle Perleus, southwest corner. That would be your southwest corner. So let's see, that's north, that's south, southwest. It's actually where my altar is. So my altar is in very many different directions too, and that's very odd, especially for this house. So okay, so dark bread in a bowl or a lipped dish. Sounds funny. And red wine in silver quach or a chalice. So in the spiral castle center near the stang will be placed the red knife. So now here is the ritual for, here's a varied ritual, a different ritual for this red meal, or the woozle. So 1, the sacrificial meal is brought from your castle Perleus to the spiritual castle by the witch. So 2, tread the mill widdershins 3 times while singing the woozle song. Alright, now that is treading the mill is a book too, but it's also how we lay our compass counterclockwise. So we are drawing up energy, drawing it up. Now for the song. Okay, here's the song. Where is the song? Okay, the woozle song. So, to the tune of Green Sleeves. Alright, so, to woozle now, we walk the wheel. We kill tonight the blood red meal. A leftward thread of magic's will to feed the gods and work our will. Red is the wine we drink. Red are the cords we wear. Red is the blood of God, the horn god, the buka. So, and red is the shade of the woozle. Alright, now, Google, YouTube it, how to sing it. I don't know how to sing that one, but I like how I just like it. It's very simplistic. Alright, now, 3, say, for our ancestors, our gods, and ourselves, we do this. Now 4, bless this bread by saying, here is bread, flesh of the earth, blessed to give us life and strength. I consecrate it in the name of the old ones. Alright, now 5, you're going to actually kill the bread by saying, I take its life and give it to them. Now you're going to cut it with the red knife. So that is the, representation of the sacrificial, literally, sacrificial king, god, goddess. No, it'd be the god, the horn god. So, now you're going to bless the wine. And you're going to say, here is wine, blood of the earth, blessed to give us joy and abundance. I consecrate it in the name of the old ones. Now, 7, you're going to kill the wine by saying, I take its life and give it to them. Slide the knife over the top of the chalice to cut its throat. Alright, wow, yeah, we're getting really a little bit deeper into the intricacies of the red meal. I really like this. I don't know why. It's just really amazing. Okay. Did we already? Yes. Okay, so 8. Each person eats and drinks of the meal, making whatever personal offerings they like into the bowl. So, number 9. The remainder of the wine is poured into the bread bowl, and each person dips up their finger in and anoints themselves. This can be used for blessing tools, too. So, pretty much the same from what I read from my Book of Shadows. So, or my grimoire, or whatever you want to call it. 10th meal is either given to the ground now, if you're outside, or later, if you're inside, with the following declaration. So, you guys all know this declaration by now. As some is taken, so this is given by the sons and daughters of the family of the old faith. I give it to the ground, I give it to the old ones, that above and below will become one. For what is taken is truly given, and what is given is truly taken. The day and the night are wed, as the living and the dead. Here is shown a mystery. So, that actually is amazing. I love it. I love this. I love the Hoozle song. It's incredible. It gives you so much more of a mental picture compared to what I have previously done with the red meal. So, alright. So, what should we go to now? What should we do now? What do you guys want to know about traditional witchcraft? There is so much to actually do. So, could have done witch bottles, but I actually like Lilith better. So, here's just a little bit, I mean, I'm partial to Lilith. She's the goddess of all creation, so she falls under Isis, which is Astarte, the goddess of 10,000 names. So I really like this one about Lilith. So Lilith is actually a Hebrew name for a figure in Jewish mythology, who is generally thought to be part derived from a class of female demons called Litu. In Mesopotamian text, the Gilgamesh appendix and the Arslan Tash amulets are two sources used to connect the Jewish Lilith to the Akkadian Lilith, Litu. The Hebrew term Lilith first occurs in Isaiah 34:14. So, I don't know why I'm being drawn to Lilith today. I just really am. So, alright, in Jewish folklore from the 18th to the 10th century work, the alphabet of Ben Sura onwards, Lilith becomes Adam's first wife, who was created at the same time and from the same earth as Adam. So this contrasts with Eve, who was created from one of Adam's ribs. So Lilith's legend was greatly developed during the Middle Ages. In a 13th century writing, Lilith left Adam after she refused to become subservient to him, and then would not return to the Garden of Eden after she mated with Archangel Samael. So this is actually making more sense, a lot more sense. If you really listen to the whole, Lucifer, they did their research for Lucifer, for Mom, Lilith, but that wasn't really Lilith, or was it? She never gave her name. It was just the goddess of all creation. So who was it? I think it's pretty neat. Alright, so she said to have spoken the secret holy name of God and transformed herself into an owl to fly from Eden. So the name Lilith means screech owl. So I think that's why a lot of us are connected to owls. We love owls. I do. Most witches do. So that would be a very common, connection there. So in some medieval folklore, Lilith does not she does return to Eden as a serpent. She then offers forth the fruit of the tree of knowledge to Eve, making her kind of a proto-Sophia or wisdom goddess. So we have Sophia, the goddess. That comes in there. So, alright, Charles Leland associated Aradia with Lilith. Aradia says Leland is Herodias, who was regarded in Stryharia folklore as being associated with Diana as chief of the witches. So Leland further notes that Herodias is a name that comes from West Asia, where it denoted an early form of Lilith. So, pretty interesting. I mean, this is really interesting. Very. So, alright, now Gerald Gardner asserted that there was a continuous historical worship of Lilith to the present day, and that her name is sometimes given to the goddess being personified in the coven by the priestess. So the idea was further tested by Doreen Valentine, who cited her as a presiding goddess of the craft, the personification of erotic dreams that suppress desire for delights. So, alright, now in some traditional witchcraft covens, Lilith is viewed as the embodiment of the witch's goddess. I do see her that way, yes. I do see Lilith as the embodiment of the goddess. But then again, I see, all the different goddesses within her. So again, another giant disco ball. I hope you guys understand the concept of a disco ball. Alright, so. Where did I go? Okay, so she was said to have embodied herself in the form of Nama, the sister of Tubal Cain. So, and is therefore one of the original sources of witch blood. So some see this Lilith as queen of the fairies and grandmother to them as well. So we have a lot of connecting the dots with Lilith to everything from the traditional witchcraft point of view. That was a tongue twister. Alright, so that's very, very interesting. I love this. So, one of the old names for the moon is Lilith's lantern, and it was said to be the light that witches met by. So Lilith is associated with the moon, owls, and serpents. I just love it. I love this. I just love it. So now we're getting into more of the goddess and more of, traditional witchcraft is very focused on the god. So, I mean, there's not much room for the goddess in traditional witchcraft, but a lot of different sects of traditional witchcraft will bring in the goddess. So I do work with the goddess a lot more. But then again, I do have, I do work with the horned god, so Baphomet. That is that is what Baphomet represents to be the Buka in traditional witchcraft. So, now we have a prayer unto the queen of succubi. Alright, so I bless the waters of desire, I drink the fountain white, I call thee Mother Lilith, harlot of the night. Ooh, I love that. It's bewitching, isn't it? It is. Mine are the blossoms of rousing, to bewitch the moon feast round, unto my daughters, unto me thy daughters, ye nymphs of paradise ground. I bless the waters of desire, I drink the fountain white, I call thee Mother Lilith, harlot of the night. By the mystery of the bright moon, and the vessel of quickening fire, thy power is made flesh. So, that's a lot to do with Lilith. I mean, a lot to do with Lilith, and I mean, she is amazing. She is just one amazing. I love her. So, alright, the red thread. That's what I wanted to go over next. So, it's an initiatory process. And this is found very commonly, red threads. We just read that, or we just heard that in, what was it? The other, yes, with the red meal. We heard it with, yes, we did hear it with red meal. The red cords we wear. So, okay. Now, I have a sense that, the red meal, or the red thread is one of the deeper mysteries of the craft. So, as we are coming to know it, this sense is based on the fact that both Glocks, and I found ourselves referring to it regularly in symbolic ways, and during craft discussions. So, but I am having very difficulty putting my manner in this blog entry. So, the fact that we are able to point to the symbol as a deep point of connection for our magic, but verbalization seems to fail on some level. Tells me that here be a grave mystery. So, perhaps in order to approach the mystery, we should only look at one aspect of it in this post, the red thread and the initiatory process. Alright, so the red thread, it represents witch blood. So, the red thread, let's see, the red thread is the moniker we use to refer to the line of witch blood that connects us to Tubal Cain. A few of us come to this tradition with ties to Cain. So bonds or possibly even witch marks that we reinforce through charms or the process of admission into a curvine. Many create that link through a specific ritual. So what is the witch's mark? We'll find out later. I'm very excited to find that one out. Do you have one? Do you guys have one? So, I think it's very cool. So, alright, so now our system of admission is, actually quite simple. We have a beginning level, which we will, call greening. It'll reserve full discussion of this level for another post, but let's hear the level for children within this path, or whether literal or figurative. So next is adoption, and this is the time when the red thread is linked. So this tradition is linked very intimately to the flow and nature of the family, so it's the coven. So the adoption corresponds to the time of the puberty, when a child has come into physical, mental, and emotional maturity sufficient for the study of basic magic. She or he may be brought into his or her craft family when a seeker, regardless of physical age, has passed the period of initial giddiness and done some serious work and a review of his or her aims as a witch. He or she too is eligible for adoption into a craft family. So if you're part of a coven, then that's what you would do. But yeah, I'm very solitary, so no. So the goals of the adoption rite, which you would also think of as a dedication, are to forge a formal magical link between the student and the coven and to establish a formal training period of at least a year and a day. So yeah, I'm over my year and a day. I am like 15 years and a day over, so I don't know what that means for me. Self-dedication on the path of traditional witchcraft? Yeah, we do have self-dedication in the traditional witchcraft path. So, alright, so the goals of the adoption, right? Wait, did I already read this? Which you can also think of as a dedication or forge. Yeah, I already read this. Alright, so a year and a day. This period is until the age of adulthood. So in the case of a family trad practitioners performing the adoption with teens and tweens. So this rite can happen at any of the gates or castles. In other words, it can happen at any Sabbath. Anyone. So during the course of the ritual, the candidate is challenged and queried by the coven members. So providing that he or she meets with approval at the end of all challenges. He or she will take a blood oath on the anvil. There are 2 points to make note here. 1. Participation in the ritual doesn't guarantee success, and 2. The anvil is the oath stone of the tradition and is intimately linked in symbolic terms to Tubal Cain. So, another good book, Shanti Oates, Tubal Cain. The candidate is given a red cord to wear at the waist, which is a reminder of the red thread itself, so the umbilical cord in the fire of Cain's forge. So he or she is also given a bone and a silver ring, which is symbolic of the bone soul, so intimately related to the red thread and ancestors. The ring should be fitted to the witch's index finger in their power hand. So as the ultimate location where it will be tattooed with the stang or the witch's mark at his or her rising. So literally you would have the stang tattooed on your ring finger, your index finger of your power hand, whichever hand you are, right or left. So mine would be here. That would be there. Which is pretty neat. I mean, the witch's, we know what the witch's foot is. It's just one line and an X. Very interesting. Representing everything. All of the directions. All of the quarters. All of everything. The universe. So I really like that. I really, really like that. So, I did want to go into witch marks. So, alright, the Watchers. So these are really good. I really like this. Okay, so here we go. So the Watchers, or the Giorgio, basically protectors. Where did I go? Are ancient angelic beings associated with stellar lore that watch over witches. They are sometimes envisioned as the watchtowers of the witches' circle. So they're just basically angels, kind of, in a way. So, in stellar cults of Mesopotamia, there were 4 stars known as lords, or watchers. So each of these stars ruled over a cardinal point of the compass, circa 3000 BCE. So Aldebaran was the star of the vernal equinox and was the watcher of the east. Regulus, star of the summer solstice, was the watcher of the south. Antares was the star of the autumn equinox and was the watcher of the west. Finally, Fomalhaut was the star of the winter solstice and watcher of the north. So we have that coming up. 7 stepped pyramid towers were constructed, bearing symbols of each of the 4 stars and times of the year. So these ziggurats formed the first instance of the watchtowers. That is where the watchtowers come from, north, south, east, west. So the watchers, people that guard, these thought forms, or these, angels, or, whatever, just the watchers, spirits that watch our compass. So, okay, the watchers are echoed in the 4 winds of the ancient Greeks and the 4 archangels of Christian belief: Michael, fire; Gabriel, water; Raphael, air; and Uriel, earth. However, the watchers are also mentioned as fallen angels in the apocryphal book of Enoch. So, these watchers are said to have instructed to the daughters of men in certain magical arts. So the usual associations are as follows. It's very interesting information, stuff that I am remembering, and it just kind of sparks that back up, that first initial, getting into traditional witchcraft and really knowing that's your path. I have never stayed with one path for this long. That's how I know it's my path. So, alright, we have Archael, signs of the earth; Armaros, enchantments. Alright, so that kind of reminds me of one of my djinn I have, which I will not say her name. Thank you. I made her a very lovely oil this morning. It smells amazing. I can't remember what I did, though. Alright, now Azazel, masking, smithing, and witchcraft. Barkel, astrology. Ezekiel, signs of the clouds. Gadriel, making weapons. Kokobeel, I think I said that right, Kokobeel, stellar lore. Penmu, written spells. Sariel, lunar magic. Semjaza, herbal magic. And Shemshiel, solar magic. Yeah, these are Enochian watchers, and I cannot pronounce all Enochian words that great, so correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of people like to correct me when I can't pronounce a word. At least I admit I can't pronounce it. Joking, kinda. So these Enochian watchers, yes, they are Enochian watchers, and I can't pronounce any of their names. So we're said to have mated with the daughters of men and produced a race of giants, the Nephilim, who were gifted with magical powers. So the Nephilim possessed odd genetic traits that are similar to the witch's mark of old, such as giantism, extra teeth, and supernumerary nipples. Okay. Nipples. Nipples is the theme today, I guess. Indeed, some modern witches still claim descent from specific fallen angels. But it doesn't give us the exact witch's mark. So, okay, witch's mark, witch blood, and the Cthulhu. This is interesting. So, the witch's marks. So, some witches are born with a specific mark upon that singles them out as a person gifted with power. Some traditional variations on this mark include a specifically sharp-shaped birthmark, a supernumerary nipple, red hair, extra teeth, and being born with a caul, a portion of the birth sac over the head. Oh God, that's how I was born. Okay, and I have some very specific birthmarks. Very specific. Wow. So witch marks are created at certain rites of passage within our tradition, though. So they consist of a special symbol marked on the body, either astrally or physically, or as in a tattoo. So both the symbol and its placement of the body are significant to our tradition. So whatever tradition, whatever sect you're following, it would be placed on whatever part of your body that it correlates with your tradition. Now, witch blood. Some witches claim blood lineage from witches who have gone before. So that just, I mean, if you do have that lineage, 1, it doesn't make you any better than any other witch. 2, it makes it means nothing. It's just that you have that blood, that lineage. So it doesn't mean shit. And people think, you have to have witch blood. You have to be born into, a family of witches. No, you don't. I wasn't. No, you don't. So, some witch, whatever. This is known as possessing witch blood. So it is based on a very ancient notion from the Book of Enoch that T. Cain once mixed his seed with that of the daughters of Adam, producing a race of supernaturally gifted beings. These beings are sometimes referred to as the Watchers. Okay, so it is said that this divine spark runs through the veins and sings from the bones of every witch. Remember that you are made of the same materials as the stars, and that magic lives within you. So literally everybody is born of witch blood then. Literally. I mean, we're all made of the stars. Literally. So, where did I go? Okay, so remember that you are, whatever. So even if you cannot trace your, your familial lineage to that of a known witch, and even that through the forging of the red thread, the magical link that this tradition creates between you and the mighty dead, you share the blood of T. Cain. We all have the blood. All of us. Isn't that a little incredible? I think so. Alright, now, the Cthulhu. Now, it is told that for a witch to pass from this life into the next, he or she must pass her power on to another. That's what freaks me out. Who am I going to pass my shit down to? I don't have anybody to pass my stuff down to, except for my assistant and my best friend, my hairstylist, literally, unless I decide to adopt. So this provides, incentive for teaching the craft to others, ensuring that, our ways do not die with us. So the Cthulhu is a tangible object that links the power of a witch to her or his descendant. It may be a beloved magical tool, a piece of jewelry, or regalia, or a formal document of lineage. So, pretty interesting stuff, I would say, don't you think? I really, really like that. I mean, that was just really cool to actually, have that information right here. Very interesting indeed. So yes, the witch marks and the birthmarks and stuff, I do have them. I don't remember where they are, but they are very, very different. Very different. And if you poke one of them, it does not bleed. And that is right here. And now my camera won't show it. The camera will not show it. Right there. If I poke that with a needle, it does not bleed. I don't know what that means. I have no clue what that means. I don't care. But I know that, we're all made. We all come from the goddess and the god. And we're all made of stars. So that gives us all witch blood. Literally. So it doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. All it is just like I have literal, link to, Vlad. That doesn't mean I'm a vampire. That doesn't mean, I have that blood in me. Hungarian. Yes. Transylvania. Hungarian, yeah. And then, Julius Caesar, related to him in some odd way. Doesn't mean anything. Not to me, it doesn't. So it just depends on who you are and if you think you're above everybody else. So, yeah, a lot of people do think that. So, I don't care who you are. If you come from a line of witches, I don't care. that bother me. But I don't think so. But that'd be a good thing to actually kind of look into, though. So, are you guys descendants of any witches whatsoever? I'm actually going to try to trace my family tree and see if there are any. There could be. I have no clue. So, alright guys, I'm gonna shut up. But anyways, alright, I love you all very much. And everybody have a great weekend. And yes, I love you all the way from Venus all the way back down. There we go. So yes, thank you guys for all your just being you guys. I love you all, and you're just wonderful people. So, yeah, I love you guys very, very, very much, and I'll see you all tomorrow.